As a PSA at the start of this video, I just want to say, you guys, please be nice to each other in the comment section. Don't be a obnoxious Tekken fan. Over the 5 years of me doing YouTube, I only had to ban 23 people. Do not be the 24th person. Now, I had an interesting idea for a video and I just want to test this out and see what you guys think about it. On this channel, I often talk about the success that Tekken 7 has achieved because I feel like a lot of people don't give the game credit. But for this video, I want to talk about the things that Tekken 7 was not able to achieve. Things that were teased, whether it be a tweet, whether it be something they said on stage, things that they said would possibly be coming in the future and then it never have. Whether it be it's simply they just didn't finish it, they canceled it, or in another instance where they tried it and it failed. There's a few different examples here and I just want to talk about all of these because I think all of these, yes, it wasn't able to be applied to Tekken 7, but it will most certainly be applied to Tekken 8. I see so many people talk about, wow, Tekken 7 has this, has that, and oh my god, Tekken 8 is going to suffer the same thing. But I think that is absolutely not the case, which is another reason why I wanted to do this video. So the first thing that I'll start off with is obviously the netcode. The netcode, the internet structure for Tekken 7 is something that they teased that they were going to fix, and even all the way up until January they said they were working on it. But all throughout Tekken 7 lifespan, the internet infrastructure, netcode, whatever word you want to use to describe it, it has progressively gotten worse. It seems like every month when you turn on Tekken 7, there's a new way that the game just doesn't work. Now talking about Tekken 8, Harada already confirmed that rollback netcode will be there. Also, he said that Akira will be working on the netcode. And I just want to start the videos off with this because this is a perfect example of something that they teased and tried and, you know, really tried to make work in Tekken 7 but was not able to. And I think Tekken 8, you know, seeing all of that fallout and headache, Tekken 8, they're definitely going to make sure it works. And the beta is going to be our first instance to see if it actually does. But another thing that I want to talk about. But the next one on the list is accessibility features. And this is something that's been teased for Tekken 7 for over the past 4 years or so. But we haven't seen like an ounce of it. I remember, I think back in 2021 now, I can't remember the exact year. But Harada did this event. It was only in Japanese and they basically were talking about accessibility features. You can see the screenshots here. You have support, color support, input support. For input support, that's your controller. They have a 1-button input. I was so interested to see what this does. They had another accessibility feature where it's called one hand, and basically that turns your controller, I want to say 2 controllers in a sense. The last one is just a reverse arcade. That was the input support they were working on, but it was never added into Tekken 7. Another thing, when you talk about the color support, this one is more so about your eyes, what you're visually seeing. I don't know all the doctor terms. I'm not a doctor, but basically all of this stuff will help people, allow people to see Tekken more clearly. You can change the background to contrast with the characters. All of this stuff would combine to make the game more accessible. But like the title says, this is something that was never added to Tekken 7. But also too, we know that this is something that's going to be making some kind of appearance in Tekken 8. Before we talk about Tekken 8, a tweet about this as well that I want to mention, it says, even Harada said accessibility features won't make the game easier for you. You must strategize. You can't turn on the accessibilities and all of a sudden just be better at the game. You do have to still be good at the game. But talking about Tekken 8 now, when everyone saw the heat effects and all the sparks, that's when the accessibility feature and options came back up. Harada says, I just explained that on the option menu of Tekken 8 this time. It's possible to adjust not only the brightness of the screen, but also various adjustments such as effects, adjustment, color vision, and accessibility. Accessibility is a very big thing in gaming nowadays, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tekken 8 really went the route of diving full first, giving us this preview that we saw in Tekken 7, but applying that to Tekken 7. You know, I would be open to trying a game in these settings just to get a feel for it, see if it works, see how it works and whatnot, you know. The next thing, now this is an amazing topic. The topic, cheaters, banning people. This is something, like I said at the beginning, that they tried to do, but they were just basically not successful. A tweet from Harada responding to Lohai, says, please ban this kind of player. And basically it's someone who's quitting out in ranked. Harada says, in case of Steam, it's under our control. We can permanently ban this player. Please wait a while. This was pretty interesting, right? Back in 2021, 2020, they were trying to ban people. On Steam, I guess they were having people, I guess Steam banned, like trying to hit their actual accounts. I don't know how that turned out exactly, but they also were trying to ban people through Tekken itself. That was pretty crazy, bro. People were unbanning themselves. They banned like 400 accounts, and some people got banned by mistake, but the people who were actually cheating simply reverted the ban, and they just continued on causing chaos. But also too, when we talk about people like cheating, we think of hacks. We think of like, you know, there was a 1% glitch where if someone hits you one time, that you lose all 3 rounds and the game is over. There were some crazy glitches and hacks that was available on PC. But for us console players, when we think of cheaters, when we think of hackers, we think of someone plugging. And plugging is the #1 issue that needs to be addressed in Tekken 8. This is a problem that existed before Tekken 7. In Tag 2, you were able to plug as well, although it was not as widespread. I think just the birth of the internet, you know, with Tekken 7 and content creators and content spreading, information moving faster, I think that is why more people started to plug, because back in Tag 2, maybe that many people didn't know you could do that. So in Tekken 7, once people found out, they definitely used it to its advantage. Plugging in Tekken 8 should have some kind of consequence. The last one, at least the last one that I'm able to remember. One thing that was teased and never made its way into Tekken 7 was this tweet from Harada from the development room. Every single time I'm reminded of it, I'm just blown away. For those of you who were there, you remember how crazy this was. The bottom right, we don't know exactly what that is, at least I don't. But the top right, you have Lei, Shao Kahn in this unfamiliar stage. When people saw this, we immediately started to figure out, what is this symbol? The strings was connected, and the character that people associated this with was Kiri Kazama. Everyone thought this was some kind of teaser, some kind of hint, some kind of reference. But then the developers, they said they don't want him in any fighting game because they don't want him to hit women. But then, and this is what I heard from you guys, I wasn't able to confirm this myself, but the person who said that, right, about Kiri Kazama, you guys said that that person left the community. They left, like they're no longer a developer for Yakuza, and someone else new is in control. So I guess you could say there is some kind of hope for that character to be put in a Tekken 8. I just think all of these topics is really interesting. This is just some of the things that I was able to find that was teased or hinted at for Tekken 7, but it never really made its way into the game. And I think a lot of this will definitely resurface and be a core part of what makes Tekken 7, Tekken 8, the online experience. So I just want to talk about these and take a stroll down memory lane and just look at the things that sort of we never got